All right, so since I took the instrument piano sort of box piece out of the form, I'm going to go ahead and I think it's a good time to go ahead and work on the base for that. So I've got about 16 and 3/4 inches, about 17 inches. 17 inches, and then this is 4 3/4 inches. I think that's consistent. Yep. So 4 3/4 by 17. Just gonna see what I've got down below here, where all my scraps are. Here's got a good piece right here. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut the base. All right, so in that last video you saw me take the form out of the take the plywood. I took it off the form so that I could see, just get a feel for how this was gonna look up on the fuselage. And so now what I'm going to do is make the base for this and start gluing this together. So the base will be this long and 4 3/4 inches wide, which matches this. And I have a couple other pieces to add on here, and then I'll double up the plywood just on the front edge so that I have a little more like something to actually glue to. So I'll have a little ledge basically to glue to. I'll set it back 1/8 of an inch and epoxy that on. And let me get the camera on the tripod here and then the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to mark this, and I'm going to check this for squareness. Let's see which edge is the most square. That one's really square. That one's really square, so it doesn't really matter. Either one of those will work. So I'm going to go from there to here. So we're going to cut that off there. And then we'll cut that down to 4 3/4 inches after we cut it off there. All right. All right. So I've got my front lip piece here all set up. I've drawn got an 1/8 of an inch line here, so I'm going to glue this piece on. I'm going to set it back a little. Just put it right on that 1/8 inch line. And then this will be the location where it'll give me a little ledge to epoxy this to. So that'll get epoxied to the front edge there. This will get epoxied to here. And then I have to make a frame where the back piece is solid. So the back piece here is solid, so what I'm doing is I've actually taken some of my 1/4 inch material that was left over from my floorboard plywood, and I'm going to make a form for the back side. And then what that'll allow me to do is this will be inset 1/8 of an inch in as well, and then it'll give me a place to actually screw this onto the back and close up the panel. So this one's going to be cut. I want to actually maintain the line on this one, so that will make sure that I've got enough of a recess there that's not too tight and it fits nicely. So and then I'll just cut the inside out. I'll probably just kind of cut through somewhere, and that'll allow me to work my saw on the inside. And then I can epoxy that onto the back here, and then this will be epoxied onto the front side, or it can go either way. I guess if this was the back, then that would have that 1/8" offset like so, and that could get epoxied in place, and this can get epoxied on to the other side. This can get then epoxied, and we'll be on our way into getting this done. And then as soon as the structure is done, then all I have to do is take my plywood which has already been formed, as you saw in the other video, and get that epoxied to the whole form. So it looks like it should be a pretty decent fit all the way around. And we'll just use clamps and whatever necessary to get this in place. So, all right, let's go cut this. All right, so I got that cut out. So now the next thing to do is I've got to mark the 1/8" across the back side here. So I just flush this up and make a mark. And we'll draw the lines. So when this is flush to the outside, I can see the line. So what I have to do is, when I put this piece on, just want to cover the line. So certainly can't see it that direction. So I better flip it around. I think I have another idea how to do this. I think I may set a piece of 1/8" on the table and then set this down like so. Set this down then I can just set this on it, right on top of it, and then I'll probably shoot some staples into the bottom once I get epoxy on there. That'll be a better way to guarantee that. So, all right, I'm gonna get some epoxy mixed up, and let's glue this together. All right. All right, here we go. All right, so I got the back on, and now I've got to come in and get the front side on. Let me get this tripod out of my way here. That'd be a really good idea. All right, so I've got that stapled on the front there, and now I'm going to glue the panel itself in place here, and that's going to go just to the front here, and I'm going to have to do this with tape, I believe. Don't really have a good way to do that, so I'm going to use blue tape. So let's get some epoxy in this corner here. Get the blue tape out. All right. All right. So now we got that. Now we need to make sure this one is holding square, so we're going to cut a piece that is about 4 3/16. All right, that's going to get put right in between here, and then that should give us an overall dimension. Pull that nice and tight. And that should give us our 4 3/4. So where are we at the base here? Our 4 3/4. All right, now we just got to rack it just a little bit. So I'm going to come in here. I'm going to wrap underneath. Push that back where it needs to be. And we'll blue tape it. And now we're good. Blue tape is one of the best clamps in the world. I contend. It's nice and flat on the front, nice and parallel there. And all we gotta do is let that cure. Wrap it with the plywood. And then the recess is there for the back to go on. Once there's no tape there anyway. The back can go on. Like so. Give me a place to set some screws. All right. All right, so that's another video. More progress once I get this situated. Once it's dry and we get the top on and basically get it finished getting it built, then I'll show you how I intend to suspend it, and I can show you now like where it's going to go. Basically, it's going to go just in front of where the bolts are going to be here. For the spar carry through, so it's going to go on that line, centered up on there, roughly there. So that's where it'll be. Looks about like that. And I'll be using some rubber, natural rubber pieces. I'll show them to you in my box here. Let's see here. Must be in the other one. See what we got in here. Got some rod ends. Here we go. I'll be using these. This part will go through the deck and bolt on from the bottom. There'll be some holes in that flat part here, in here, where this will actually, the goal here is for this to stand up about 1/8 of an inch above the top of the deck, and then that will get bolted to here, and then the panel will be completely isolated. So yeah. All right, so thanks for hanging out with me, and yeah, if you're not a subscriber, I invite you to hit the subscribe button and that little bell. I'm sure everybody knows this by now, but that little bell, if you hit the bell, you can select that you want to see every episode I upload, and you'll get notified when I do. And hey, good progress this weekend, so I'll catch you later.